Madam Drug. This is a terrible story, and to be honest, I'm not sure I should share it with you. But okay, I'll tell you, but only so I can warn you about a great danger that lurks around the corner. One of the worst evils on Earth is Madam Drug. Whoever goes for a ride with Madam Drug is finished. Her master is the dark and evil Mr. Dealer who sends Madam Drug to town so she can find her victims. She is cunning and wears a mask so her victims cannot see how evil she really is. She works very hard to find a victim and then uses that victim to get others, so she can drive them all to pain, suffering, and death. Boys, would you like to go for a ride with me? Madam Drug asked two boys she saw playing basketball on their favorite court. Wow, they saw some of their friends already in the car. Milan wanted to go for a ride, but he said he had no money to pay for it. But Madam Drug said the ride was free, and that he could even bring his friend. The other boy, Philip, started warning everyone about all the bad things he had heard about Madam Drug. He said it would be best if they just all got out of the car right away. Oh, that made everyone mad. They yelled at him, they called him a coward and said he had no clue about life. And they drove away as fast as they could. The next day, these two friends were hanging out again at the same old place. Philip asked his friend how the drive was, and Milan was so excited, he said it was amazing. He was just sad it was so short. But Madam Drug promised to take him for a ride again the next week, and Philip was welcome to join them too if he wanted. No way, man! I heard that riding with her can get you killed, said Philip. That's not true, Milan said. As you can see, I'm just fine. Philip tried to convince him, but it didn't work. Madam Drug took those kids for a ride every weekend. Time passed. Madam Drug, unfortunately, had a lot to do, but the two friends kept spending time at the same old spot. Milan said to Philip that he had no clue what he was missing because it was fabulous to fly with Madam Drug. It was unbelievable. First, as you get in her car, it's like you start floating, Milan said. Then you go so fast it kinda tickles your stomach. But the best part comes when you leave the ground and start to fly. Oh, that's the best. After that, nothing feels important. You don't even feel when you're back on the ground. I just can't explain it. You need to try it. Philip told him that even if it felt nice at the time, that it would lead to death. And if he did not stop right away, it was gonna kill him. Milan just laughed. and they were both surprised when they heard the sound of tires skidding to a stop. Madame Drug was riding a motorcycle. She invited Milan to go for a ride with her, and he was happy to join her. But the ride was no longer free. He had to pay if he wanted to ride again, because Mr. Dealer had said so. Milan gave her all the money he had in his pocket. Madame Drug was trying to get Philip to join them too, just for one ride, and it would even be free. Free? Oh, you're so lucky, said Milan. Philip said no, even though he really liked that motorcycle. He really did want to go for a ride. Well, maybe Madame Drug was not as bad as everyone said. More time passed. Philip was shocked when he saw how Milan looked. He was skinny and tired and weak. Philip cried as he begged his friend to stop or he would die. But Milan assured him that everything was fine. Besides, he thought he looked like a model now. Milan asked Philip for some money so he could buy a new sweater. He had met some really nice girls and was going to meet them that day, but he could not go if he had his old sweater. He begged Philip. Of course, his friend gave him some money. But Milan did not use that money to buy a sweater. He gave it to Madame Drug to pay for another ride. Once, Milan called and asked Philip to come to his house and wait for him in front of his window. When Philip came, Milan handed him a computer through the window. Philip was not naive. He knew Milan was stealing his parents' computer because he wanted to sell it so he would have money to ride with Madame Drug. When Milan came out, Philip told him that was stealing and he wanted nothing to do with it. He also said that when Milan stopped riding with Madame Drug, then they could hang out again. Until then, no. Philip turned around and left, while Milan watched sadly as his friend walked away. Maybe he wanted to leave Madame Drug, but he no longer could. The need to ride was stronger than Milan. He sold the computer for a little money, and he called the dark Mr. Dealer to send Madame Drug to give him a ride. He just could not live without it. Of course, Madame Drug came right away and promised Milan he would have the best ride of his life. And this excited him. If he only knew what awaited him, he never would have gotten in that car. Madame Drug took Milan higher and higher. He felt like something was taking control of him. Soon, nothing mattered anymore. Even the idea of dying was not important. He just closed his eyes and fell asleep. The evil Madame Drug used that moment as they reached the highest point to drop him from the car, and he fell hard. There was no escape for him. Madame Drug laughed. Dark Mr. Dealer was furious because Madame Drug lost one of his clients, but she promised to get another client, Milan's friend, Philip. So together they went. They had a plan how to trick Philip to finally get him into Madame Drug's car. As bait, they used one of their other clients, a beautiful girl, Alexandra. Philip was mourning the loss of his friend when the gorgeous Alexandra came to comfort him. Of course, he fell in love with her. She comforted him perfectly. He even told her that he loved her and how he would do anything for her. That was exactly what she was waiting to hear. "Anything?" she asked. He really was ready to do anything she wanted. "Well, would you like to take a ride with me?" Alexandra asked. "Of course. Wherever you go, I will go with you, even to the end of the earth," responded Philip, madly in love with her. Oh, Alexandra was really happy to hear this, so she called for the car to come right away. When the car arrived, Philip was shocked to see Madame Drug and her car. "No, no, no!" screamed Philip. Alexandra told him to stop being a wimp and a coward and get in the car. And if he wouldn't do it, she would be furious with him. But he just kept saying, "No, no, no!" Suddenly, Madame Drug took his arm and yelled at him, "Do what I say and get in the car!" The only thing he could say was, "God, please help me." In that moment, a heavenly angel appeared and he took off Madame Drug's mask and chased her away from Philip. No one except Madame Drug saw the angel, but Philip sensed someone was helping him. Once exposed, Madame Drug ran away mumbling something about losing Philip since he saw who she really was. "But maybe you would like to take a ride in my car?" said Madame Drug. "Oops. One moment, please." Madame Drug forgot her mask. "Would you like to take a ride in my car? "In the name of Jesus Christ, I command you, go away. There is nothing for you here," said the angel. Children, remember, never, not for one moment, not once, not even sometimes, never enter Madame Drug's car. And so Philip, with God's help, managed to resist Madame Drug's attack. Who knows what might have happened if Philip had not been praying for Milan?